She woke up in the ICU, barely able to move. Tubes down her throat survived the accident. Yes, but she had no idea the worst pain was yet to come. Her husband had filed for divorce while she lay unconscious. And that was just the beginning. Before we dig deep into this shocking story, kindly hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss real stories that reveal the darkest truths and biggest betrayals. Lydia and Raymond had been married for 8 years. From the outside, they were the definition of relationship goals. A beautiful home in Abuja, 2 kids in private school weekend brunches, and smiling Instagram posts. Lydia was a marketing executive. Raymond was a rising tech entrepreneur. But behind the filtered photos, cracks had started to show. Subtle at first, missed calls, late nights, secretive messages. Lydia felt it in her bones, but Raymond always had an excuse. "You're paranoid, Lydia, it's just work." He always said that. It was a rainy Friday evening. Lydia had just left work. Tired but excited, Raymond had promised a weekend away. As she drove home, a speeding trailer swerved into her lane. The impact was catastrophic. She was pulled out of the wreck unconscious. Broken ribs, fractured spine, internal bleeding. Doctors said if she hadn't arrived at the hospital within 15 minutes, she would have died. She was placed in a medically induced coma. Raymond was informed immediately. He visited once, stayed for 10 minutes, said he had to travel for business. But something felt off to the nurses. Even the way he looked at her body was cold. After 3 weeks, Lydia woke up. She couldn't speak, could barely open her eyes, but her sister Ada was there, crying tears of joy. Ada had moved into her house to help care for the children. 2 days later, Ada received a call from a courier service. Legal documents for Mrs. Lydia Raymond. She opened them. Divorce papers, filed by Raymond while Lydia was still in a coma. The official reason? Emotional instability and irreconcilable differences. Ada didn't know what to do. She chose to hide it from Lydia for now. As Lydia slowly regained strength, Raymond didn't visit again. Not once. But something else happened. A woman showed up at the hospital. Early 30s, tall, beautiful, dressed in designer clothes. She claimed to be from Raymond's office. But she stayed too long. Smiled too much. Kept asking the nurses when Lydia would be transferred out. One nurse overheard her say, "I don't know why she's still alive." "He said she wouldn't wake up," that nurse told Ada. Ada's blood went cold. Ada installed a small audio recorder in Lydia's hospital room. The next time the woman came, she didn't bring flowers. She brought a document and whispered into Lydia's ear, thinking she was asleep. "Just sign this. You're ruining everything." She placed a pen in Lydia's hand. That audio was all Ada needed. She took the recording and the divorce papers to a lawyer. What they uncovered blew the case wide open. Raymond had been having an affair with that woman, whose name was Ngozi, for over 2 years. She wasn't just his lover. She was pregnant with his child. He had moved her into a new apartment just days after Lydia's accident. The divorce filing? It wasn't just to separate from Lydia. It was a calculated plan to gain full custody of the kids, freeze the joint accounts, and take over their properties. He assumed Lydia would never wake up, that she would die quietly in the hospital. Lydia finally spoke. Weak but clear. "Get me a lawyer." Her voice trembled, but her spirit burned. Ada and the lawyer filed a restraining order against Raymond and his mistress. They froze the divorce proceedings and filed for criminal conspiracy, citing the hospital audio and evidence of coercion. Raymond was served in court. The look on his face? Total shock. He never imagined Lydia would fight back. The court case made headlines in local media. Raymond tried to lie, but the evidence was overwhelming. The judge awarded Lydia full custody of the children and immediate access to her accounts and property. Raymond's business lost investors. Ngozi. She disappeared before the ruling was finalized. The betrayal still burns, but Lydia walked out of court stronger than ever, holding her children's hands. She lost her health, her home, her husband, but she found something far more powerful: the truth and the will to rise. No matter how hard she was pushed down. A month after the court ruling, Lydia returned to the house she once shared with Raymond. The home felt cold, empty, like it had been stripped of love. But while cleaning the bedroom, Ada found something behind the wardrobe, a hidden camera wired into the wall. Lydia froze. She handed it over to her lawyer, who found hours of footage dating back to months before the accident, including recordings of Lydia being followed. In one clip, Raymond could be seen handing cash to an unknown man. Was the accident really an accident? The lawyer brought in a private investigator. 2 weeks later, he returned with a chilling discovery. The same man who had received money from Raymond was a dismissed truck driver with a criminal past. Records revealed he had driven the same trailer that hit Lydia. The brake system wasn't just faulty. It had been tampered with. Police reopened the case. What started as a divorce now spiraled into a potential attempted murder. Investigation. Raymond was summoned for questioning. His face calm, confident, but the evidence was piling. And this time, Lydia wasn't afraid. Out of nowhere, Ngozi the mistress reappeared. But not to fight. To confess. Pregnant, broke, and abandoned, she walked into Lydia's lawyer's office with tears in her eyes. "He promised me everything," she said. She confessed that Raymond bragged about Lydia's accident being timely. She even heard him say, "If she doesn't make it, we get everything." Ngozi agreed to testify in exchange for immunity. It was the final nail in Raymond's coffin. The courtroom was packed. Reporters, lawyers, a nation watching. Raymond stood, defiant until the footage, recordings, and Ngozi's sworn testimony were played. Gasps filled the room. Lydia sat still, her hand clutching her daughter's tightly. Her son whispered, "Mom, is he going to jail?" She nodded. "He has to." Raymond was charged with conspiracy to commit murder, fraud, and obstruction of justice. The same man who once promised to love her in sickness now faced life in prison. Standing outside the courthouse, cameras flashing, reporters shouting, Lydia looked into one lens and simply said, "I forgave him the moment I survived." But forgiveness doesn't mean freedom from consequences. You don't bury a woman while she's still breathing. And with that, she walked away, not broken but rebuilt. Because sometimes tragedy doesn't destroy you. It introduces you to the strongest version of yourself. But now we ask you, what kind of man files for divorce while his wife lies in a coma? Was Raymond's plan always to erase Lydia from the picture? Permanently? And if she never woke up, would anyone have ever known the truth? How many people walk around every day, not knowing they were never meant to survive? What would you do if someone you trusted tried to end your story before it even reached its climax? Thanks for watching. If this story left you speechless, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We tell real stories that reveal the darkest truths and the people strong enough to survive them.